coming in, he's coming in. So, we get a chance, thank you for that. We get a chance to develop this discernment. We get a chance to look at ourselves in new and different ways. And so every day I decide I get to look at myself differently. I don't have to be the person I was yesterday. I don't have to be the person I was a week ago. I get to be a new person. I get to choose. I get to make new decisions. And then I know one thing. And the one thing is that the universe is supporting me in change. The universe is supporting everything and everyone now in change. We're moving into a new earth. A new earth. We have heard many of our books are talking about this. David Hawkins, Edgar Tolle, Celestial Prophecies. Well, you know, they don't say it as such in the clarity, but we know something is happening as everything breaks down. Everything breaks down, and you think, how much more can it break down? And you wake up and you turn on the news, and you quickly hear something else is broken down, you turn off the news. And you say, well, this is happening today, and this is happening today, and each day it's something new. So we recognize that there's some changes going on in our life as well. How many have seen changes in their life? Sometimes we're out of a job. Sometimes somebody leaves us, somebody that we cherish, somebody that we believed in, somebody that we thought was there for us. They leave. They're no longer there for us. We say, well, what's going on around here? Why did that happen? Well, it happened because you were no longer vibrating with that frequency. You were moving on. And when you get into new thought, when you get into this kind of thinking, metaphysical thinking, what happens is your life starts to change. New and different things come into your life. New ways of thinking, new ways of healing. You don't go back to the same old medical doctor, and I'm not saying anything against medical doctors, but you maybe start to go with Dr. Needle, or you start to go with some other healer, or you take a Reiki class, and you start to do hands-on healing, and you start to find out, you know, I'm being healed, good things are happening, I'm changing my eating program, I'm realizing that food is medicine, I'm doing things differently, I'm exercising, all of these things you start to do. When you start to do those things, what happens? Change in your life, right? Yes. Change in your life. And we're all changing to some degree. We had a public speaking seminar not too long ago, and we had sorry, his name was
Neil Hightower.
Neil Hightower, thank you. Neil Hightower wrote a book. The man had lost, what, 125 pounds? He'd lost 125 pounds. He said, I didn't go on a diet. He said, I've done all the diets. I've done every diet there was. He said, changed the way I ate. And he said, you know, he said, I didn't change it all at once. He said, I started changing because he said, I was addicted to food. So I started eating things a little bit different every day. Every day I would add this to my diet, and maybe I'd let something go. Or maybe it would go for a period of time, and then I would add something new to my diet. Like he said, I never ate fruit, and I'd have one piece of fruit. One piece of fruit. He said, I never ate greens. I would eat one salad. And then I'd go 2 or 3 days, but I ate a salad 3 days ago. And then I'd eat more, and I'd eat more. And he said, before you know it, he said, I started looking at labels. And I started changing the sodium content. And I started changing the way that the fat content in them. And I began to drop weight. So we wrote a book about it. And even though I'm on Dick Needle's program, Dr. Needle's program, occasionally I don't eat right. Don't tell him. But then his program tells me that 80% is the best for me, and if I goof off a little bit, I goof off. Well, I decided, you know, I'll get back on just being as regimented as I can. So one day at a time. Everything Everything is one day at a time. If you don't like where you are right now, give it some time. Give it some time. If you don't like where you are right now, start to change your mind. You change your mind. The Bible tells us you have to renew your mind. Change your mind. As we go into this new heaven and this new earth, we have to change our mind. If not, we're going to be living the way we did live. Now here's the kicker, gang, is that our karma and the things that we've done in the past are really not counting that much anymore. They don't count. They don't count. What you did doesn't count. What do you mean it doesn't count? It sure counts to me. Well, it does. It made you who you are. But now we're ready to move forward. We're ready to go through changes. A lot of people are going through physical changes. A lot of people are waking up in the middle of the night. A lot of people aren't sleeping during the night. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Jump, is that a song or something? But the interesting thing is that they're going through changes. Some people are having more headaches. Some people are having body aches. There's a cellular change that's taking place for you as well. There's all kinds of changes that are going on in your body, in your mind, and in your spirit. We are preparing to move into this new heaven, this new earth, which is very exciting. Because as we come back and find the right place for ourselves at a soul level, we become the entrepreneur. We become the one who decides. And it's interesting because so many people have started businesses as a result of being fired. And it doesn't, I don't mean big business. I don't mean that they've gone out and they've incorporated right away. They're doing business as something. And they start their entrepreneurship doing whatever they're doing. And then it expands and expands and expands. I had a telephone call today from our dear sweet Paul Campbell. And Paul said, Joyce, I just have to call and tell you, I want to thank you for teaching me to script. He said, because I'm scripting things, I'm writing things. Remember, scripting, for the new people, I'll talk about it a little bit later on, but scripting is writing in a journal what you want the way you want it, as though you already have it. He said, so I've been scripting. He said, and I've allowed my mind to stretch. He's a pianist, a classical pianist. He's beautiful, magnificent piano player. And he said, so I've allowed myself to stretch my mind beyond what I have ever stretched it before. He said, and you've taught me to keep stretching it, and keep stretching it, and keep stretching it. He said, it's amazing the people that I'm having lunch with, the places where I'm playing piano, the doors that keep opening for me, the things that keep happening for me. And he said, I just had another opportunity come to me to do some really great work. He said, and I thank you for it. I saw Jonathan Ware today. Jonathan Ware, who has an ashram in downtown Atlanta on 10th Street. Jonathan said, Joyce, I don't know what I would have done if it hadn't been for the scripting. I script for everything. He said, I have scripted my life the way I want it, and I've got it. Now I have to go further. Now I don't have